Dear learners, am I audible to all of you? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Shall you start or shall we wait for some more 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Thanks
we will
for,
start. Before I hand over the platform to you, I would like to express a few words to the learners. Dear learners, are you there? Are you listening to me? Poonam Yadav, Megha Tanwar.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, you see, on 8th of May, I had sent a mail regarding rescheduling of the classes. Dr. Kapadia had sent a mail that because of some preoccupation, he wants to take class from 1 p.m. today to 3 p.m. So accordingly, I had sent a mail. I think you have not seen that. Therefore, many of you did not join initially. Therefore, we have to send emails to all of you once again, emails and SMS. So anyway, we'll be sending the recording of the class, the present class once again to all of you, so that those who have missed the class will get an opportunity to get the recording, isn't it? See the recording. So now let us start, sir.
sir, you can try to send one more time the SMS, and I think so if they join, that will be better also.
Yeah, we are contacting them, sir. We will send them the recording of the class also. There is no issue. Now
No
you
problem.
can now you can start.
Okay.
Now you can start. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon to everybody. Is my presentation visible?
Yes, it is very much visible.
I'm expecting from the students, sir. Is it visible? Am I audible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Please. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, the topic assigned to me for the today is, of course, I should have taken the class on 9th because of some circumstances. I have requested IGNO for rescheduling my class on 9th to today between 1 to 3 p.m. And today that we are going to discuss on the aspects related to pre-treatment and disinfection of biomedical waste or healthcare waste. In the last class, I think so Dr. Suman might have talked about the burn and non-burn technologies. You're aware, I think so I think so Dr. Suman has taken on 10th seems to be, Dr. Suman has taken a class on burn and non-burn technologies. Have you all of you attended the class? Please. Have you attended the class, burn and non-burn technologies? Yeah, can you please say yes or no? Yeah, have you attended on 10th the class relating to burn and non-burn technologies? Yes or no, please? Can you hear me?
Students, please respond.
Am I audible to you? And can you hear me? No. Have you attended the class relating to
Sir,
burn and non-burn
sir, your
technologies?
audio is breaking in between.
Now, is it okay?
But audio is clear. This side audio is very clear. I am able to hear Dr. Chandrababu very clearly.
Now, what I want to know is whether you have attended the class relating to the council relating to burn and non-burn technologies or not. If you have attended, and if you have understood that class, then it is easy for me to make you to understand. Otherwise, it becomes I had to start from the beginning then. And that means I have to explain in detail. Otherwise, I just can give overview for each and every technology. Otherwise, I have to teach. Exactly. That's why I'm asking you this question. Have you understood burn and non-burn technologies? Yes or no, please?
No, sir.
Why you are not understood properly the burn and non-burn technologies? No problem. You see, it is not a problem. Still, if you feel that you have not understood also, I can elaborately, I can explain so that you can understand easily. But, I cannot give in the form of the slides, but I can verbally can talk anything related to burn and non-burn technologies, but then I cannot produce you some sort of, presentations. But anyhow, I'll try to focus only on to the my topic today on pre-treatment and disinfection. Last class, you all might have, in my last class, you might have heard, we have learned what are the categories of healthcare waste. You also learned in this class, in the last class, we have learned what is the definition of waste, what is the definition of biomedical waste also. Can you please tell me, somebody can please tell me, or can you please recollect what is how do you define the biomedical waste as per biomedical waste rules 2016 notified by the government of India? Anybody can respond, please? Can you please respond? How do you define the biomedical waste as per biomedical waste rules notified by the government of India?
So
No
it is
problem. I told
basically
you
the
in the last
waste
class.
generated during treatment, diagnosis, and research purposes.
I told you one word called, always remember that word, dirts. If you remember that word,
Dirt.
dirts, Therefore, any waste generated in the process of diagnosis, or any waste generated in the process of elimination of human beings or animals, or any waste generated in the process of research activities, or any waste generated from treatment of human beings or animals, and the waste referred under Schedule 1 of the biomedical waste rules can be called as biomedical waste as per biomedical waste rules notified by the Government of India in the year 2016. You also learned what is the classification of waste as per source, which includes healthcare waste, agriculture waste, industrial, and municipal waste. You also learned classification of healthcare waste as per World Health Organization into two categories. One is hazardous and the second one is non-hazardous. What are the types of hazardous categories as per WHO of the healthcare waste is one is shops, infectious, pathological, pharmaceutical, and cytotoxic chemicals, radioactive waste. They all fall under the hazardous category. And other waste are there, healthcare waste as non-hazardous waste. It is as per the classification of healthcare waste as per WHO. We also learned in my last class regarding classification of waste as per hazardous nature. One is non-hazardous waste and the other one is the hazardous waste. Under the hazardous waste category, there are e-waste, radioactive waste, healthcare waste are there. Whereas non-hazardous waste, it it is like a solid waste, like paper, plastic, tin, vegetable waste, etc. They all under the non-hazardous or can be called as solid waste. You also learn the classification of waste as per physical properties. One is solid, the other one is liquid. In case of solid, there are subcategories. One is biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. Therefore, waste can be converted, which are the waste which are biodegradable in nature, they're all called as biodegradable solid waste, and the waste which are non-biodegradable in nature, like plastics and all, they are not easily biodegradable. They're all like considered demolition waste. They're all non-biodegradable waste. We also learn classification as per physical properties as solid and liquid waste and subcategories as biodegradable waste, non-biodegradable, whereas in case of liquids, can be further classified into subcategories as black water, gray water, and storm water. We also learn what are the harmful effects of waste on human health. If waste is not properly treated and disposed of, then what type of impact that is going to cause on human health. Also, we have learned in my last class related to categories of healthcare waste. But today, The topic assigned to me is pre-treatment and disinfection. The content mainly in this class today, we are going to learn about the interaction related to pre-treatment and disinfection, concept of pre-treatment of biomedical waste. We're also going to learn the need for pre-treatment of biomedical waste and pre-treatment of infectious waste, how it is done, and pre-treatment technologies for treatment of waste, what is the pre-treatment of liquid chemical waste and infectious wastewater, environmental cleaning and housekeeping in healthcare facilities, management of discarded linen in healthcare facilities. As a part of pre-treatment and disinfection, we are going to learn on these issues today. Yeah, you all know that healthcare waste is a way, healthcare facilities are the facilities where they generate all sort of waste. We have learned in the last class. What are they? One is infectious waste or biomedical waste, municipal solid waste. We also generate hazardous waste or chemical waste. Used batteries, electrical and electronic waste, plastic waste, construction and demolition waste, radioactive waste, liquid waste from laboratory, laundry, domestic wastewater, etc. is also generated from the hospitals. Apart from this, emissions are there from boilers. If there is a boiler as a part of hospitals, in order to generate steam and all, then there will be emissions. Air emissions will be there from the boilers. If diesel is used, there will be air emissions or toxic chemicals into the environment. Captive incinerators. Any hospital is having an incinerator for the purpose of treatment of waste, then there is a possibility of discharge of air emissions into the atmosphere. Therefore, hospital is the source of generation of all sort of waste. You can't say that the hospital cannot generate this sort of waste. Of course, it depends upon the type of activities being followed in the healthcare facilities. Suppose if it is a small healthcare facility, they may not be generating all sort of waste. They may be generating very few categories of waste. Depending upon the activity, all the healthcare facilities will be generating the most of the waste are listed in this slide. We also learned in the last class that waste generation from healthcare facilities, mainly general waste will be comprising of about 80% and 20% will be infectious and hazardous waste. Therefore, the waste generated, the infectious waste generated, which is only about 20%, has to be managed in an environmentally sound manner. Otherwise, you are going to convert all the generated waste into infectious waste. Therefore, that is going to cause impact on the environment. Not only impact on the environment, that is also causes the problems for the expenses towards the management and handling of such waste. These expenses will be go up, the transportation will go up, the cost will go up, and also treatment cost will go up. In the process of treatment of waste, emissions are going to cause, that is going to cause impact on the environment, definitely. Therefore, the waste generated from hospitals has to be segregated properly into general waste, which may be a biodegradable nature or it may not be a biodegradable nature. And also, infectious and other waste has to be segregated properly and it has to be disposed of in accordance with the respective rules notified under the Environmental Protection Act by the Government of India. Of course, as far as in the last class also we have seen the biomedical waste has been categorized into 4 categories depending upon the color coding. How many are they? Can you please tell me what are they? 4 categories of healthcare waste is there.
Red, yellow,
Yellow, red, then
black for general waste,
okay. Here are the 2. What are the other 2? Yellow, red. What are the other 2?
White and blue, sir.
Blue and white.
Blue and white. Therefore, yellow is generally highly infectious waste like human anatomical waste, animal anatomical waste, soil waste means the cotton soaked with blood, infectious blood or body fluids, discarded or the expired medicines will fall in the yellow category, chemical waste, chemical liquid waste, discarded linen, mattresses, beddings, contaminated with the blood or body fluids, routine mask and gown. Apart from this, microbiology, biotechnology, and other clinical laboratory waste will fall under the category of yellow category waste. All these waste listed here are required to be segregated into yellow colored coded bag or container, and this is This waste has to go for final treatment either by incineration or plasma pyrolysis or deburial or as such under the rules. Now that you might have learned about the burn and non-burn technologies. Maybe incineration, plasma pyrolysis will fall under the category of burn technologies. Deburial is fall under the category of non-burn technology. But all yellow color waste as listed here has to go for incineration or plasma pyrolysis. Generally, incineration is where the fuel is used and the certain temperature is maintained in order to destruct the waste to make the infected waste into non-harmful waste so that it can be handled easily. Plasma pyrolysis is also one and the same, and as same as that of the incineration, here the temperature is the incineration is done under controlled conditions, means at the higher temperatures, the waste is dissected, completely dissected and disposed of, and make it harmless compounds. And emissions will be generally less in case of plasma pyrolysis when compared with the incineration. Wherever the incineration or plasma pyrolysis are not available or any common treatment facility is not available within a distance of 75 kilometers from a hospital, in such a case, that waste can be disposed of by deburial, which is generally permitted where there is no access to the common facilities by the healthcare facility. Second category, I told you in the last class, red category, all plastic waste, contaminated plastic waste, which are recyclable in nature, will fall into the category of red, which includes disposal items such as tubings, bottles, intravenous tubes, and sets, catheters, urine bags, syringes without needles. Okay, all plastics, infected plastics generated from the hospital will fall into the category of radio category, and this red category has to be stored in red-colored, non-chlorinated plastic bags or containers, and generally these plastic waste can be treated and disposed of by autoclaving or microwaving, hydroclaving followed by shedding or mutilation or combination of sterilization and shedding. Treated waste can be sent further for the recycling activity through recyclers or for energy recovery or plastics to diesel or fuel oil or for road making, whichever is possible. Now, the autoclaving, microwaving, hydroclaving, shedding or combination of the sterilization and shedding, they all fall under the category of non-burn technologies. Generally, non-burn technologies means where waste is treated or waste can be treated as a using this non-burn technology as a pre-treatment option, and further the waste can be further go for further treatment and disposal. Therefore, autoclaving, microwaving, hydroclaving, shedding, etc. will fall into the category of non-burn technologies as per biomedical waste rules. Third category, I told you, waste shops. Waste shops includes needles, syringes, etc. These has to be segregated into white translucent plastic, the bag or container, the no bag container, which should be translucent in nature or puncture proof, leak proof, tamper proof containers only. Therefore, the waste collected, like the waste shops, which are stainless steel, etc. in nature, can be treated by autoclaving or dry heat sterilization, followed by shedding. Shedding is a must. What is the purpose of shedding? Anybody can guess, please? Why you have to go for shedding? Yeah, please kindly try to react with me so that it will be active. Anybody can guess, please? I told you in the last class, what is the purpose of shedding?
To break down the waste material in small particles.
Yeah, that is one purpose. In order to avoid reuse. Generally, the purpose of the shedding of hospital waste is generally in order to avoid reuse of the untreated plastic waste. Therefore, in order to avoid reuse of the plastics generated from healthcare facilities, the shedding is a must so that we can avoid shedding. Of course, whatever is said is you can make it as a small pieces. When any waste is converted into shredded pieces into small pieces, when it go for further treatment, then the treatment of such waste will be effective when it go for autoclaving or microwave. There is also one of the advantages, of course, but Main aim is to go for shedding is to avoid reuse of infectious plastic waste generated from healthcare facilities. Okay, please. Any doubts, please? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Now these are the waste: yellow category waste, human analytical waste, animal analytical waste, soil waste, expired or discarded medicines, microbiology, biotechnology, and these waste can be disposed of directly into the yellow color bag. But some waste like blood samples and blood bags, they require pre-treatment. What type of, please kindly remember what type of waste requires pre-treatment is, so that we are going to discuss blood samples and blood bags. Whatever is there, they require pre-treatment for before disposal into yellow color bag. Some the other waste is there like microbiology, biotechnology, and clinical laboratory waste. These are waste also has to go for pre-treatment. Similarly, the chemical waste has to go for pre-treatment. Therefore, there are three categories of waste which requires pre-treatment as per biomedical waste rules. One is blood samples and blood bags. Please kindly remember, or you can note down also. Blood samples and blood bags requires pre-treatment before such waste goes into the yellow color coded container bag. Similarly, the chemical waste also requires pre-treatment. Then only after pre-treatment only this chemical waste has to go into the yellow color bag or container. Similarly, third type of waste which requires pre-treatment is microbiology waste, biotechnology waste, all clinical laboratory waste has to go for pre-treatment. Okay, please kindly remember these three categories of waste requires pre-treatment before that waste goes into yellow bag or container. Okay, therefore these wastes generally are generated from the laboratories, and immediately this waste has to be pre-treated within the laboratory, and then it has to be segregated into yellow color container bag. Then these waste will go for further treatment and disposal. Similarly, we have got cytotoxic drugs. All cytotoxic drugs have to be placed into yellow color coded container bag, but here the biohazard symbol will be C. In order to identify this particular bag or container, yellow color bag or container is containing the cytotoxic, therefore label should be C. Whereas in case of other infectious waste, the label to be used in order to identify that yellow color waste is the infectious waste or no. Therefore, this the biohazard symbol you have to place on the container bag. This is how we can differentiate what is available in yellow color bag, whether it is infectious waste or whether it is cytotoxic drug. Therefore, this is what all the waste has to go into the yellow color coded container bag. Here you can see human analytical waste will go directly into the yellow color coded bag or container. Animal analytical waste also will go into the yellow bag directly. Soil waste also will go into the yellow color coded bag or container directly. Discarded linen, mattresses, routine mask and gloves also will go directly into the yellow color coded container bag directly. Only the medicines, discarded medicines, expired medicines will also go into the yellow color coded container bag directly into the yellow color coded container bag. Some waste like blood samples and blood bags, microbiology, biotechnology, and laboratory waste will have to go for pre-treatment by using the non-bind technologies. Similarly, chemical waste has to be pre-treated by neutralization. Means chemical liquids will be depending upon the chemical nature of the waste, liquid waste. The chemical has to be neutralized, then only that chemical liquid or solid waste has to go into the yellow color container or bag. This is what you have to understand. Secondly, I told you all recyclable plastic waste generated from hospitals, which are generally infected in nature, which are like the disposal items such as tubings, bottles, means plastic bottles, intravenous tubes and sets, catheters, urine bags, syringes, etc., has to go into the red color covered container bag. The label has to be used is biohazard label, but it has to go for mutilation or cutting has to be done. All these things before it is going to the red bag in order to avoid reuse of that infectious plastic bags. Similarly, white one, all shops like metal needles, syringes, etc., has to be segregated into white color coded container, which should be transparent in nature, and it should be the tamper proof, leak proof, and puncture proof. The container only has to be, because it is a sharp, it may damage the container, it may damage the workers handling the waste also. Therefore, it should be puncture proof, leak proof, and waterproof. The glass waste and metallic body implants has to be segregated into blue color coded container or box on which you have to put a budget label, and this glassware, broken glassware and metallic body implants can be segregated into blue color coded the box, and you have to put a label on this. We also learned in the last class related to components of biometric waste management. What are the various components of biometric waste management? It includes mainly the segregation at source. Means if you take any waste categories, any waste like municipal solid waste or hazardous waste or healthcare waste, the waste management scenario, waste management components will be same. Main aim is segregation at source, depending upon the type of waste and proper collection and safe storage. It has to be stored properly on-site or off-site. On-site means within the place where the waste is generated. Off-site means when you have taken any waste to away from source of generation to any other place for further treatment disposal, there also is stored. It is called as off-site. Transportation. Once it is stored, then it has to be transported safely to the place where it has to be treated and disposed of. Then the component of biometric waste management is the treatment and disposal. Therefore, treatment may be on-site or off-site, means any waste treated within the source of generation of any waste can be called as on-site treatment. Any waste it can be treated and disposed of away from the source of generation can be called as off-site. It may be disposal, treatment, and disposal facility, then is such a place called as off-site. Therefore, we'll have both on-site treatment facilities, treatment and disposal. We will have off-site treatment and disposal facility of any waste, including healthcare waste. The main aim of the waste management hierarchy is most preferable is the prevention of waste generation. You have to have the thing that try to avoid generation of the waste at source itself, so that we can minimize the waste generation. After adopting the principles called reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, then the waste which is available has to go for treatment, and final option should be least preferable option is disposal. Therefore, try to prevent waste generation waste generation at source of generation itself, and our ultimate goal should be to least preferred option should be disposal. Otherwise, the cost of disposal will be more and impact on the environment will be more. Therefore, if you try to reduce the waste generation source itself, we can minimize the waste generation, cost of treatment, cost of transportation, cost of final treatment and disposal can be minimized at source of generation itself. If entire waste, if you want to dispose of, that cost will be more, transport cost will be more, treatment and disposal cost of waste will be more, and similarly, when the process of treatment and disposal, it may cause impact on the environment. Therefore, most preferred option for in the waste management hierarchy is the prevention of waste generation, and the least preferred option in the waste management hierarchy is the disposal. Disposal should be as minimal as possible. Prevention is the most preferred option. Prevention of waste generation sources will be the most preferred option. Any doubts, please? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, understood. Understood, please.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Then let us go to, I don't know whether you have come across, whether you have gone through the biometric waste rules or not. Anybody has read biometric waste rules? Megha Tanwarji, have you read about biometric waste rules 2016?
No, sir.
No, you're not read about the biometric waste rules. Anybody else? Megha Tanwarji? Megha Tanwarji, have you read about biometric
Sir,
waste
no.
rules?
No, sir, no.
No. Okay. Poonam Yadavji, kindly keep your microphone in mute, please. Okay. RDS, have you read about biometric waste rules 2016? No. Rakeshji, have you read about biometric waste rules 2016? Notified by the Government of India? No. Okay, no problem. Then I'll give you only the salient features of the rules. What the rule says, I can't explain all the rules, but I will explain what are the various salient features of the risk before we go into the actual pre-treatment aspects. Biometric waste rule 2016 are applicable to all persons who involved in handling of biometric, means all the persons who involved in handling of biometric waste within the hospitals, the rules are applicable. Means it is applicable to doctors, it is applicable to the nurses, it is applicable to the waste handlers, it is applicable to waste transporters, it is applicable to the person who is receiving the waste at the storage yards, it is applicable to the person who is storing the waste, it is applicable to the persons who are involved in treatment and disposal also. Therefore, it is not going to exempt. Rules are applicable to all the persons who involved in handling of biometric waste within the hospital in any form. And as per rules, I already told you there are 4 categories of biometric waste, which is depending upon the color coding. One is yellow, red, white, and blue. The rules emphasizes segregation of biometric waste as source of generation. Always the segregation of waste, wherever the waste is generated, the waste has to be segregated at source of generation only as per the color coding only, so that the transportation, the collection, treatment, and disposal, depending upon the color coding, it will be easy. Therefore, whatever the waste is generated within the hospitals, that has to be segregated at source of generation only. Means wherever the waste is generated, the waste has to be segregated at that place only. You cannot think of segregating the waste outwards or at anywhere else. Wherever the waste is generated, the waste has to be segregated depending upon the color coding as per the rules. Also, ensure treatment is for highly infectious waste such as human and animal untreatable waste, soil waste, and microbiology waste. Such untreated waste cannot be stored more than 48 hours. Therefore, untreated human and animal untreatable waste, soil waste, and microbiology waste, these waste cannot be stored more than 48 hours because these wastes are highly infectious. Therefore, waste has to be stored and disposed of within 48 hours. And the rules permits on-site treatment of facilities within the hospitals. Means waste can be treated by hospital provided if there is no any common biometric waste treatment facility with any additions of certificate. Generally, the healthcare facility can be involved only for pre-treatment of waste, but healthcare facility cannot involve in treatment of waste if there is a healthcare cannot treat any waste if there is no any common facility within 75 kilometer distance. If there is no any common facility, then hospital is allowed to have on-site treatment and disposal of healthcare waste. Yes, in such a case, if there is no any common facility, then in such a case, healthcare facility can have their own on-site treatment and disposal facility. Otherwise, all the waste generated from the hospital has to be segregated, collected, stored, and transported and disposed through a facility which is located 70 kilometers from the hospitals. The laboratory, this is what? The laboratory, microbiology, waste, blood samples, and blood bags. These waste has to be pre-treated as per WHO guidelines and following the efficacy as log 4. Log 4 for chemical reaction, log 6 for sterilization. Phase out use of chlorinated plastic bags is a must. Gloves and blood bags, you cannot use chlorinated plastic bags. You have to use only gloves and blood bags which are free from chlorinated plastic bags. And training has to be provided to all the healthcare workers at the time of induction, and thereafter at least once a year by the healthcare facility has to organize training for all the healthcare workers. Barcode system to be established as the guidelines of CPCB. Anybody can guess, please, what is the purpose of barcode? Anybody can guess what is the purpose of barcode? Yeah, please. RTG, can you please guess what is the purpose of barcode on the healthcare waste bag or container? Yeah, Rahul Kumar, can you please guess what is the purpose of barcode on the healthcare waste bag or container? If there is a barcode, is there, what is the purpose? Urmila ji, can you please guess? Or anybody else can guess, please, what is the purpose of?
Sir, for labeling of biohazard.
suppose if any barcode is there on a the plastic bag or container, what is the purpose of that? Suppose what is the purpose of barcode on any bag? For example, if you go to any market or any mall, when you purchase some item, they read barcode using the sensor, the equipment, and they fix the rate. There, the purpose is to identify the cost of the particular product on which there is a barcode. Based on that, they will identify what is the cost of the product. Whereas for the healthcare waste bag or container, we use the barcode. What is the purpose then? You have to guess. There, the purpose is to identify the cost. Whereas here, what is the purpose then? For waste bag, there is a barcode. What the rule says you have to use the barcode. Then what is the purpose? Anybody can guess, please. No, you have to discuss. Otherwise, you can't understand. If I only say, you can't understand anything. You have to react.
Sir, to identify which type of waste that one is.
Okay, you can identify what type of waste. Very good. Any other purposes? Any other purpose?
And any from which source it was collected.
Fantastic. Means, suppose if any waste bag is lying on the road, it contains a barcode. Then based on the barcode, I can identify source of generation of that particular waste. Suppose any waste is lying on the road, which contains, now barcode is a must. Any hospital which they are using any bag or container for storage of any waste, which includes healthcare waste, should have a barcode. If any bag, like yellow bag or red bag or the white container or the blue container, if it is available on any roadside, based on the barcode, we can identify what is the source of generation. If I know what is the source of generation of that waste, I can take action against that hospital for improper disposal of waste, because they have violated the rules by not collecting properly and not ensuring treatment and disposal in accordance with the law. Therefore, if any waste is lying on the roadside, which contains a barcode on the bag, I can identify what is the source of generation. Therefore, the regulatory authorities like State Protection Board can take actions against such hospitals. Okay, understood? Please. The rules also says all the healthcare workers has to be immunized against. Please, you have to keep on note down. Okay, these are going to be useful for the exam also, for your exams. For all the healthcare workers have to be immunized against hepatitis and tetanus, as per WHO guidelines or Ministry of Healthcare and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare guidelines. Therefore, healthcare workers has to be immunized against hepatitis and tetanus. It is a must. All the healthcare workers has to be provided with PPEs, personal protective equipment. Without personal protective equipment, you cannot allow the healthcare workers for handling of biometric waste. Only trained workers to be engaged for handling of biometric waste. And the suggested technologies for treatment of biometric waste as per rules are incineration, plasma pyrolysis. These two will fall under the category of burn technologies. The technologies like autoclave, hydroclave, dry heat sterilization, microwave, shredding, combination of sterilization and shredding, chemical disinfection, encapsulation, sanitary landfill, or disposal by reburial will fall under the category of non-burn technologies for treatment and disposal of biometric waste. Now, apart from these technologies, if anybody wants to use any new technology other than listed above, then the occupier here means generator or operator of a common biometric waste treatment facility. If they intend to use any other technologies, then a proposal should be submitted to Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change to lay down operating standards under the Environmental Protection Act 96 with relevant standards. Now, without approval of or without notification of new standards for any new technologies, such technologies cannot be adopted by a hospital or a common biometric waste treatment facility. Okay, then all the healthcare workers and common facilities have to submit the annual report by 30th of June every year. Means the annual report has to be submitted to SPCB, State Protection Board or PCCs in the Union Territories by June 30th of every year. It is they must. All healthcare the healthcare facilities and common biometric treatment facility operators have to submit the annual report by every year for the calendar, for the previous calendar year, they submit by 30th June of every year. It is a must. Make available with annual report on website. Means all bedded hospitals have to keep these annual reports in their website, and that maintain the records at least for a period of 5 years. Means they cannot throw the records. They have to maintain the records for a period of 5 years. They cannot throw the records within 5 years. Suppose if it is disposed of within 5 years, any record is disposed within 5 years, then it is a violation of the rules. In case conference is not collecting the waste within the stipulated time period, means within 48 hours, the waste has to be collected and disposed of by the conference operator from the hospitals. In case if he is not collecting the waste, then healthcare facility has to report immediately to State Protection Board of their state. Immediately. Of course, the recommended operating standards for incinerator is the temperature that maintain in primary chamber at least 800 degrees centigrade. Secondary chamber is about 1050 degrees centigrade. These are the points you have to make a note so that for the exams are useful. Minimum residence time that has to be adopted in the secondary chamber is about 2 seconds, and these are the standards prescribed for incineration. If any waste is treated by incineration, then the stack emission standards are prescribed under the rules. They have to control particle matter in the air emissions should be less than 50 milligram per normal meter cube. NOx should be less than 400 milligram per normal meter cube. Hydrochloric acid HCl should be less than 50 milligram per normal meter cube. Mercury and its compound should be less than 0.05 milligram per normal meter cube. Total dioxin furans should be less than 0.1 nanogram. Toxic equivalent per normal cube corrected at 11% of oxygen. Therefore, these are the standard prescribed for incinerators. All these existing incinerators operators have to comply to these norms within 2 years, including dioxin furans. Of course, the timeline already over because these rules were notified in the year 2016. All the healthcare facilities and conferences have to ensure treatment of liquid waste to comply to the discharge norm. Means any liquid waste is generated that will treat it, then that treated liquid waste has to be disposed of. Responsible authorities for ensuring compliance to the rules are Ministry of Forest and Climate Change, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Defense, Central Pollution Control Board, State Pollution Control Board in the states, and Pollution Control Committees. PCCs means Pollution Control Committees in the Union Territories. The State Pollution Control Board is the regulatory authority in the state, but the Pollution Control Committee is the regulatory authority for control of pollution in Union Territory. State governments also responsible similarly in the states, and UT administration and the UT are responsible for enforcement of these rules, and state or UT health departments are also responsible for enforcement of these rules, including local bodies. And liabilities. Suppose any violation is there against the rules by any occupier, means any generator of healthcare waste or operator of a common university, then action can be taken under Section 5 and 15 of the EP Act 1996. Therefore, action, any violation is there, action can be taken by the regulatory authorities under Section 5 and 15 of the EP Act. Definitely. These are about the rules, and our concern you have to focus mainly on today on what the technologies suggested under biomedical rules is incineration and plasma. These are the burn technologies, whereas other categories like here I mentioned autoclaving, hydroclaving, dry heat sterilization, microwave, shredding, combination of sterilization and shredding, chemical disinfection using 1 to 2% sodium hypochlorite solution, encapsulation, sanitary landfill or disposal by deburial. They all fall under non-burn technologies. Okay, only incineration and plasma will fall under the category of burn technologies. But therefore, waste, anything which cannot be recycled or used or sent for landfilling by proper treatment to distract infresh nature of the waste. What are the treatment options available are in the burn technologies, and non-burn technologies are, in case of burn technology, we have incineration and plasma pyrolysis, whereas in case of non-burn technologies, they are categorized into 4 categories using chemical processor or mechanical processor, biological processes, or thermal processes. Means thermal processes further they divide into microwave and hydroclave or autoclave or dry heat sterilization. Therefore, the non-burn technologies, I already told that autoclave, dry heat sterilization, hydroclave, microwave will fall under the chemical disinfection, the combination of mechanical and sterilization will fall under the category of non-burn technologies. This is what the entire rules will prescribe. This sort of the waste treatment on-site or off-site means properly segregated waste healthcare waste into yellow, red, white, and blue. How the waste are treated means this waste segregate after segregation can be treated by hospital if the hospital is not, if there is no any conflict within 75 kilometers of, remember this 75 kilometers always, please. Any conflict is not available within a within 70 kilometers of a healthcare facility, then the such waste generated by hospital can be treated by the healthcare facility. If there is a common facility within 75 kilometers of the healthcare facility, then waste has to be treated and disposed of only through common facility available within that 75 kilometers. If there is no any common facility within 75 kilometers, then the hospital can have own treatment facilities. Now, how these waste can be treated and disposed? All the yellow color waste will go for incineration or plasma pyrolysis, and to convert this waste into harmless ash, this ash can be disposed of through landfill or hazardous waste treatment, storage, and disposal facility. Similarly, all the red category of waste, I told you, the plastic waste, industrial plastic waste, can be treated by non-bind technologies, which includes autoclaving or microwaving or hydroclaving, followed by shredding and mutilation by or combination of technologies. Therefore, after shredding, that waste can sent for recycling through registered recyclers, or for energy recovery, or for diesel, or for fuel recovery, or for road making. And the white category of waste, which includes shops, all shops have to be treated. Waste shops are treated by autoclaving or dry sterilization, followed by shredding is a must in order to avoid reuse or recycling. And the after treatment, this can be disposed of by encapsulation, means within the it cannot be separated at all, and final disposal to iron foundries or landfill or concrete waste or pit. And glass waste and body implants, metal body implants, can be disinfected using sodium hypochlorite solution, 1 to 2% of concentration for a period of at least 20 minutes. Then, after treating, these body implants or glass waste can be disposed of by for further recycling. This is what the waste has to be segregated in the hospital, and it has to be treated and disposed of. Before treatment of some waste, I told you, like blood samples, blood bags, chemical waste, and what type of other waste? Microbiology, biotechnology, and the clinical laboratory waste has to go for further treatment and has to go for pre-treatment before it is going for segregation into respective color-coded bag or container. Now, what are the? Now, let us come to the main thing is pre-treatment of healthcare waste is in India, as per Bangladesh Road 2016, it is mandatory for on-site pre-treatment of healthcare waste prior to on-site storage and its disposal through a compost for further treatment disposal in according with the prevailing rules. Therefore, in India, the Bangladesh waste rules mandates that the waste categories such as blood bags and blood samples, chemical waste, as well as biotechnology, the microbiology waste, and all clinical laboratory waste has to go for pre-treatment. After pre-treatment of this waste only has to go for yellow color coded container or bag. It is a mandatory as per the rules. Now let us hear what is the concept of pre-treatment of armed waste. Pre-treatment is nothing but the step before subjecting infectious healthcare waste to the actual treatment and is imported at the healthcare facility so that it helps in safe handling of infectious waste by the healthcare workers within healthcare facilities or transportation or competition. Therefore, in order to ensure safe handling of bound waste, the pre-treatment of the waste such as blood samples and blood bags, chemical waste, and microbiology, biotechnology, and clinical laboratory waste has to be pre-treated and disposed of. Infectious waste is pre-treated in a manner as prescribed in the rules. Therefore, this waste has to be pre-treated in accordance with the Bangladesh rules or as per the WHO guidelines. What are they? What is the need? What for you have to pre-treat? In order to ensure that proper handling of waste is done within the healthcare facilities or at the time of transportation or at the time of treatment and disposal within common waste treatment facility. In order to avoid impact on the healthcare workers, rag pickers, waste handling workers, or public. Therefore, in order to safeguard the risk of improper management of infectious waste and to protect healthcare workers, Therefore, rack pickers, waste handling workers, public, these pre-treatment is a need, is a must. Unscientific management of waste can lead to transmission of communicable diseases. Please kindly remember these important things. If infectious waste is come in contact with any the healthy person, that may cause infections such as gastroenteric infections, respiratory infections, skin, eye, depending upon the type of infection that is there. Also causes other infections such as human immunodeficiency virus, means HIV. Suppose if any needle or syringe is contact with HIV, any patient treated with any syringe is come in contact by any healthy worker or healthy person, then that man will be contaminated with the HIV. Means HIV virus infection may happen because he came in contact with the syringe, which is not supposed to, which is used by the infected patient. Therefore, if it is come in contact with a healthy person, then he also get infected. It may also causes infections such as hepatitis B, C, E. These are very important. Kindly make a note of it. Tetanus, septicemia, and tuberculosis. Therefore, this sort of infections may cause if any infectious waste is not handled properly, or therefore pre-treatment is a must. Without pre-treatment, if it is pre-treated within the hospital before it is going to be segregated, then we can avoid the problems of transmission of communicable disease such as gastroenteric infectious, respiratory infections, skin eye infections, as well as HIV infections or hepatitis B infections or tuberculosis, etc. can be avoided. And of course, the rules prescribe what are the methods to be followed and the standards for adoption of pre-treating technologies. And as per Rule 8, Sub-Rule 8 of the Biometric Rules, which stipulates that the microbiology waste, biotechnology, and all other clinical laboratory waste shall be pre-treated by sterilization to log 6 or disinfection to log 6, log 4, as per WHO guidance. Anybody can say sterilization by log 6 and disinfection by log 4. What is the meaning of log 6 and log 4? Anybody can guess which is more effective, sterilization or disinfection? Yeah, please, somebody can respond, because you learned about the treatment technologies of healthcare waste already. You have to tell me what is the difference between disinfection and sterilization. Which is more effective?
So sterilization
Sterilization
is more effective as it kills the spores also.
Yeah, Meghaji, please kindly say, please. Can you repeat?
So it kills spores. Sterilization is most effective.
Spores sterilization is more effective. Then the efficacy, they say log 6. Isn't it more effective? Means efficacy is log 6, they say. What do you mean by log 6?
No, sir, no idea.
What do you mean by log 4? Simple mathematics. Log 6 is nothing but 1 divided by, you can put 1 and 6 zeros, add 6 zeros. That means 1 divided by 10 lakhs is log 6 efficacy. Means 1 divided by 10 lakhs. Similarly, 10 for log 4 means 1 divided by 1 and you have to add 4 zeros, means 10,000. Therefore, which is more effective? Which is less, the less value? 1 by 10 lakhs is less value. That means efficacy of that particular sterilization process is very effective than the sterilization, where we use chemicals for the purpose of treatment of the pre-treatment of waste. Therefore, sterilization is more effective than the disinfection. Sterilization, we adopt technologies like microwave or the autoclave for treatment of any waste, whereas disinfection is nothing but we use the chemicals like sodium hypochlorite solution, which is effective in reduction of microbial load, but not up to the level of autoclave or microwave. Therefore, this level of reduction of microbial load in case of sterilization is more when compared with the chemical disinfection. Therefore, the log 6 is the efficacy can be achieved by disinfection, whereas log 4, the efficacy can be achieved only by chemical disinfection. More effective is the sterilization. Now let us understand by saying that. Now let us understand the main purpose of having the pre-treatment is in order to avoid risk to the healthcare staff, which includes doctors, nurses, and patients, and also the supporting medical staff, and also to avoid correction disposal facility staff, the risk to the correction disposal staff, and also to avoid risk to the general public, and as well as the impact on the environment can be minimized if any waste is pre-treated, the prescribed waste has to be pre-treated so that it is not going to cause impact on the risk for the healthcare staff, supporting staff, the visitors, general public, and the waste handling workers. Therefore, if waste is disposed of improperly, you all know that it is going to cause impact on the human beings, animals, as well as the environment. Now, pre-treatment of waste practice in healthcare. What type of pre-treatment are generally followed? All the shop waste are generally pre-treated. All shop waste means like needles, syringes, etc. With IV tubing with needles, scalpel blades, contaminated broken glass, and lancets that have been removed from the original package. All these sharp waste will be treated generally by the hospitals. And second thing is laboratory waste. I told this are all nothing but different terminologies. The rule says blood bags, blood samples. Rule says the chemical waste. The rule says microbiology waste, biotechnology waste, and clinical laboratory waste has to be pre-treated, isn't it? Now these are the different terminologies for that uh, with a more elaborate way. Shop waste requires pre-treatment. Cultures and stocks of the agents requires the pre-treatment, includes specimen cultures, cultures and stocks of etiologic agents, and agents requiring biosafety containment, waste from production of biologicals and serums, and discarded live and attenuated vaccines. Therefore, this all requires generally pre-treated by the hospitals using the technologies RF and rules. Pre-treatment is also done in case of human body fluids. All the human body fluids means like infectious liquids, everything which includes but not limited to infectious blood and blood products, serum and plasma, the cerebrospinal fluids, synovial fluid, pleural fluid, peritoneal fluid, pericardial fluid, and amniotic fluids. All has to be pre-treated within the hospitals using the microwave or autoclave or chemical disinfections. Laboratory waste, all laboratory waste, which includes but not limited to infectious disposal items, which they use like personal protective equipment like gloves, gowns, shoe covers, masks, disposal laboratory plastic ware, which includes culture dishes, plates and flasks, pipettes and pipette tips, blood specimen tubes, devices used to transfer, inoculate, and mixing cultures, and paper and cloth, which have come into contact with cultures and stocks of etiologic agents. All these things have to be pre-treated before they dispose. Infectious glass slides also. This is like these are the glass slides which requires pre-treatment before the disposal. Into the means glass waste before disposal into a blue color container, they have to pre-treat it. Then only it has to go into the blue color container in order to avoid the infection to the workers who are handling such waste. Now, biomedical waste should not be incinerated. Of course, this is not required as a part of this. These are as per the rules. These are the waste requires. These are the waste requires the pre-treatment. One is chemical liquid and chemical waste. You require pre-treatment as per rules. The chemical waste, generally liquid waste, generally has to be neutralized, pre-treated before mixing with other wastewater by means of neutralization. Thereafter, this liquid waste can be disposed of into ETP in order to ensure further treatment disposal. Before disposal, these liquid waste will come to the discharge norms as per Schedule 2 of the Biomedical Waste Rules 2016. And yellow color waste also is there, like microbiology, biotechnology, and other clinical laboratory waste. They all require the pre-treatment using either by autoclave or microwave or hydroclave, and these plastics or glass has to be treated. Then this waste has to go for further recycling treatment. Pretreatment technology for one waste are Schedule 1 of the rule says pretreatment of yellow category waste destined to be incinerated cannot be pretreated only by non-chlorinated chemical products. Methods means any waste is going for yellow color waste. Like you all heard one is blood sample, blood bags, it has to go into yellow bag. But rule says it has to be pre-treated. Rules also says one thing is chemical liquid waste or chemical waste has to be pre-treated. Therefore, before it goes for yellow bag, chemical waste, it has to be pre-treated, means it has to go for neutralization. Similarly, the waste like microbiology, biotechnology, and clinical laboratory waste has to be pre-treated before it goes for yellow color bag. Means in such a case, you cannot use disinfectant. Chemical disinfectant you cannot use because it is going to cause impact on the environment, because the use of chemical disinfectants like hypochlorous is going to cause the discharge of toxic emission into the environment if such waste is incinerated by incineration. Therefore, only that waste pre-treatment of such waste has to be pre-treated using autoclave or microwave before that waste is going for incineration. Therefore, any technology is used for incineration, that a waste which is going to be treated by incineration cannot be treated by chemical disinfectant. That is what they want to say. And only such waste can be pre-treated by autoclave or microwaving followed by shredding. Then only that waste has to go for yellow color bag, so that yellow color waste bag can be generally treated by incineration or plasma pyrolysis. If any waste is going for incineration, cannot be treated by chemical disinfectants like sodium hypochlorite solution. Already we have heard pretreatment can be done by chemical disinfection using the chemical reagents. Generally, chemical disinfection refers to a level of dissection or inactivation of pathogen bacteria, and these disinfection levels can range from low level to high level. Chemical disinfection is generally practiced by using 1 to 2% sodium hypochlorite solution or bleach solution having 30% of residual chlorine. How much it should be have? The residual chlorine should be 30%, and at least for 20 minutes has to be treated using the sodium hypochlorite solution of 1 to 2%, so that the minimum desired level of the reduction efficiency of 4 log 10 can be achieved when you use chemical disinfection. Means that is 99.99% of the microbial load can be achieved if you use chemical disinfection. So, using sodium hypochlorite like 1 to 2% sodium hypochlorite solution containing residual chlorine of 30%. If it is used for treatment of 20 minutes at least, then you can achieve this. The efficiency of the reduction of microbial load of 4 log 10 means 99.99% can be achieved. Whereas if you use the sterilization technologies like autoclave or microwave, you can completely distract and you can achieve the efficiency level of 99.9999%. That is what 1 by 10 lakhs, and log 4 means 1 by 10,000. Therefore, that is what the percentage achievability can be achieved. Disinfection efficiency depends upon what type of things. Suppose then efficiency, how can you achieve? It depends upon the operation condition, the within treatment equipment, and quality and quantity of chemical use, contact duration or time. How much time it is going to be in contact with the chemical disinfection, and extent of contact between disinfectant and waste surface. Suppose if surface is having high surface area where it is coming in contact with the chemical disinfectant, then it will have proper disinfection. Penetration of chemical into the waste. Now, how much depth of up to what depth the chemical disinfectant is going to go inside the waste, then that is also depends upon the disinfection. Also will depend upon efficacy, will depends upon that factor. So that's why generally the waste, if it is shredded as a part of autoclave before it go for autoclave, then if shredded waste is treated, it will have more surface area. Therefore, it will have more surface area. Therefore, if you use any chemical disinfection, then it will have more efficacy. Similarly, if it is shredded, it is going to achieve, it can penetrate into the easily to higher depth of the waste, so that the disinfection can be achieved, efficiency can be achieved properly. Operating the disinfection efficiency also depends upon various factors like temperature, humidity, pH levels, or that particular the waste. Therefore, these are the various factors which depends on the efficacy of chemical disinfection or the sterilization. Now, what are the technologies available? Wet and dry thermal disinfection or technologies are pretreatment by autoclave. Therefore, we can use the autoclave, or we can use hydroclave, or we can use microwave, and we can use dry heat on the sterilization. Therefore, wet technology is chemical disinfection, where the dry thermal disinfection technologies are autoclave, hydroclave, microwave, dry heat sterilization. Now, anybody can say at what temperature autoclave is operated, because you already learned about the technologies for treatment of bamboo waste. Anybody can guess, please? Anybody can guess, please? What is the temperature pressure maintained in case of autoclave? Ravi Kiran, can you please guess?
121 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, please. Can you please repeat?
121 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, okay. Generally, the autoclave can be operated at a temperature of 121 degrees. What is the pressure? Pressure, please. Yeah, Urmilaji, can you please guess what the pressure you maintain in the autoclave? Yeah, even if you're wrong, no problem, not to worry.
No, sir, no idea.
No idea. Anybody have? I don't know what happened to that class. You people have not attended or what? The burn and non-burn technologies. If you have attended, all aspects will come into this aspect. I don't know. Generally, autoclave is operated at a temperature of, this is the autoclave, the loading mechanism, front loading mechanism, and we will have a trolley generally. If it is a very lengthy one, the trolley will be there. Trolley as such will go along the base. Then it is closed. The door is closed. Once the door is closed, you'll have the pressure gauges and temperature measuring unit, where this heating steam will go inside this autoclave. Vacuum steam. There are two types of gravity autoclave and vacuum type of. This generally vacuum type of autoclave we use, where the steam will go into the waste. Therefore, it will penetrate into the waste. And when you maintain a temperature of 121 and 15 psi, 15 psi means pressure is 15 psi. 15, we call it as psi. 15 psi, and duration cannot be less than 1 hour. Therefore, you have to maintain a temperature within the autoclave of 121 degrees centigrade, and a pressure you have to maintain at least 15 psi, and the duration of autoclaving should be at least 1 hour. And depending upon the pressure, the temperature will vary. What is that? We'll see. Therefore, whereas here the main energy used here is steam. The treatment agent used here is steam in case of autoclave. Whereas in case of microwave, what is the energy used in case of microwave? The name itself is self-explanatory. Therefore, microwave is the heating media in case of microwave. Whereas in case of the autoclave, the heating media is what? Steam. Can you please say once again what the heating media in case of autoclave? Somebody can say steam. Whereas in case of microwave, the heating media is the microwave. Energy is used for treatment of the healthcare waste. Therefore, depending upon the temperature, pressure, and time, the waste can be achieved, properly treated, and efficacy can be achieved. Therefore, in case of autoclave, steam is the heating media, whereas in microwave, the microwave energy is mainly the heating media. I don't know, this you should have been learned in case of burn and non-burn technologies, but anyhow, no problem. Standard for autoclaving of biomedical waste is, now we have to maintain a temperature of 121 degrees centigrade and a pressure of 15 pounds or 15 pounds per square inch, or it can be called as PSI, and not less than 1 hour. Therefore, similarly, when you increase the temperature, you can reduce you can maintain the higher pressure, and there you can reduce you can increase the time period also. Means you can reduce the time period duration. When you are maintaining higher temperature and pressure, you can reduce the treatment duration also. Resistance time can be minimized, reduce. Similarly, at higher temperature, 149 degrees centigrade and a pressure of 15 psi, and 30 minutes duration is a must for treatment of any waste through autoclave. Now, when you are achieving this temperature and pressure, naturally, the 121 generally we use the gravity flow autoclave, where the temperature and is maintained as 120 degrees centigrade, 15 psi as a pressure, and the resin time not less than 60 minutes is generally adopted by most of the healthcare facilities for treatment of biomedical waste by using autoclave. In order to test whether this autoclave is properly working or not, there are two types of conducted. What type of they? In order to test, in order to test whether the autoclave is properly working or not, what type of tests are conducted? Anybody can guess, please? Ravi Kiran?
One label is stick on that autoclaved material, and color change we will see.
So that means we call it as routine test, and there are two types of tests. Okay, I think what I said is correct. One is routine test, means it is like a one tape. I'll show you. I'm going to show it how it is conducted also. It is like a tape. It is like a tape. It is pasted on the waste. The entire waste is kept in the autoclave, and I maintain desired temperature 121 degrees centigrade temperature and 15 psi pressure, and I'll treat it using autoclave for a period of 60 minutes. Then, after operating the autoclave for this desired temperature, pressure, and residue time, I'll take out the waste, and when I take out the waste and see the strap which I have put on the waste bag or container, there will be change in the color. The change in the color should be of that strip should be as stated by the supplier. Supplier, when they supply, say that this strip can be used for the purpose of conducting the strip test. When you maintain desired temperature, pressure, and duration, then it will change to certain color. Therefore, when you take out any waste on which you have put a strip, after maintaining desired temperature, pressure, and the duration, if the color changes similar to the color as stated by the supplier, then that autoclave is properly worked. If the color change is not there as specified by the supplier, then you are not operated the autoclave properly. Therefore, you have to repeat the treatment process once a batch. That treatment of that particular waste batch has to be repeated. Once again, it has to be repeated, and you have to ensure that strip waste color change, strip the color changes its color as specified by the supplier. Otherwise, it has to be that batch has to be repeated for further treatment and disposal in accordance with the temperature, pressure, and duration as suggested by the supplier. That is the routine test. There is another test called spore test. Another test is there where I'll be knowing the no number of spores. That vial, it is like a vial. It is like a vial. It is like a vial. It contains spores. I place this vial along with the waste which I am going to treat in the autoclave. Now, waste along with the vial which contains no number of spores has been kept in the autoclave. I maintained desired temperature, pressure, and residue time of, let us say, if I use the gravity flow autoclave, I will maintain 121. Then I have to maintain pressure of 15 psi and duration of not less than 60 minutes. After maintaining this, I will take out the waste as well as my spore which I have put inside along with the waste. I'll take out, then I'll go for incubation for a period of 42 hours. If after incubation, if there is no change in the color of that, after the incubation in the vial, then you can say no change in the color indicates no activity. Means spores all died. Means I maintained desired temperature and pressure as well as the duration. Suppose if there is a change in the color of that vial is there, even after incubation, if I find there is some change in the color, that indicates there is some activity is there. Means if there is activity within that vial, that indicates that I have not killed all the spores properly. Therefore, the spore test is failed. That means I have not operated my autoclave properly at a desired temperature, pressure, and duration. Therefore, I had to repeat the batch once again because it is failed in spore test. I'll show you example definitely how to conduct the spore test. Microwave is where I use the microwave as heating agents, and I use the biometric waste using the microwave also. Therefore, it is also one of the technology can be used for the purpose of pretreatment of the waste. The third technology we also can use the dry heat sterilization. This is the equipment. I don't know whether you are aware of this equipment or not. Where all the waste is going to be placed here. Means there is a one dabba. In this dabba, we put all the waste shops, and I close. I maintain a temperature 185 degrees. The cycle of treatment resistance time period is 150 minutes, which includes preheating, actual sterilization period, followed by cooling. Therefore, sterile period of at least I have to maintain period of 1.5 hour. Sterilization period I have to maintain. I have to maintain a temperature 185 degrees. After cooling, when I take out, it should comply to the requirements of validation test. Means it should be able to achieve log 6, the efficacy. Generally, these equipments are not commonly used, only very rarely are used, especially in Delhi. I have seen these are the equipments where they are using, not in other places. Let us come to this is what I told you. How to conduct the efficacy, how to test the efficacy of the autoclave. This is what I told you, the strips. Now this strip along with the waste bag, I place on the waste bag. When I put it into the autoclave, close it, and I maintain the desired temperature, pressure, and duration of 60 minutes. I operate the equipment. When I take out the bag of waste along with the pasted on which we have pasted this strip, if the color changes of this strip as specified by the supplier, then I have operated my equipment properly. Similarly, this is the spore test. This is the vial. Suppose this is the vial I have used before pre-treatment. I have used place vial along with my waste into the autoclave, operated the equipment as per desired temperature, pressure, and duration. After maintaining this desired temperature, pressure, and duration, taken out the waste as well as the vial, and I go for incubation. After incubation of 42 years, there no any change in the color of this vial. That indicates no activity. That indicates no activity means I have killed all the spores. Now, after incubation, if there is a change in the color, if I see something else, there is a change in the color, that indicates there is some activity. During the incubation period means I am giving the suitable environment for the microbes to grow. Therefore, when there is a suitable environment, the microbe will grow. Therefore, that means there is activity. Naturally, there will change in the color. Any change in the color that indicates there is activity. Therefore, I have not operated my equipment properly. Therefore, naturally, that batch is failed. Therefore, I have to go for retreatment using the autoclave. And chemical disinfection. Similarly, here I use sodium hypochlorite solution of 1 to 2%, having the residual chlorine of 30%, and I use this chemical disinfectant at least for 20 minutes. Then I can ensure that the waste are properly pre-treated. Then that treated waste can be disposed generally into the type of generally into the yellow bag as per rules. What type of waste the pre-treatment of liquid chemical waste requires? The pre-treatment liquid waste like non-hazardous chemicals such as syrups, vitamins, or eye drops, which does not require this sort of liquid chemical waste does not require pre-treatment. Okay, the liquid chemical waste or the chemicals such as syrups, vitamins or eye drops does not require any pre-treatment. Eye drops means now I'm not going to pre-treat the entire eye drops. The bottle contains residual eye drops that do not require any pre-treatment. What type of categories of liquids generated from hospitals require pre-treatment? One is wastewater generated from all the healthcare facilities like diagnostic centers, laboratories, laundry generated from the hospitals, chemical liquid waste comprising of chemicals and infectious conditions. Therefore, all this wastewater generated from the hospitals requires pre-treatment. Is a must. Faces or vomits during an outbreak of cholera means any waste or faces which are there during an outbreak of cholera requires pre-treatment definitely because they are highly infectious in nature. Dental departments means amalgam, where I use mercury as a part of amalgam in order to fill the cavities in the teeth. If there is a cavity in the teeth, we use mercury-based amalgam as a filling agent. Now, whatever that the amalgams are there, that has to be trapped within the dental department. Is not going to the liquid effluent streams or as a part of waste. Otherwise, it is going to cause emissions into the atmosphere definitely because mercury is a mercury becomes volatile at room temperature. Liquid waste from radiotherapy departments, all cytotoxic drugs, etc., will be used. Therefore, the liquid waste, radioactive wastewater has to be collected. Generally, if any radioactive treatment is given to the patients or the cytotoxic drugs are used by the patients who are undergoing treatment for the cancer, then especially from the liquid waste from the radiotherapy department, such as which includes urine of patients, they contain cytotoxic drugs because they are using the cytotoxic drugs. Therefore, the urine of the patients also will have residual cytotoxic drugs. Therefore, that liquid waste has to go for pre-treatment and storage for decaying a secure dye-away basin until background concentrations have disappeared. After the required storage time, the wastewater can be disposed of in the severe. Easiest way of pre-treatment of the liquid waste generated from the cancer hospitals is to collect that particular waste stream and keep it, allow it for some time, just store it between the lead-based sheets. Then the radioactivity will go off, the impact will go off. Therefore, that liquid waste can be further discharged or further treatment and disposal. Kitchen waste should have, generally kitchen from hospitals should have a trap to remove grease, oil and other floating materials and infected food from TB patients. So any infected food is there from TB patients. In such a case, all the kitchens should have some sort of the traps to remove gas, oil and other infecting agents, floating materials. Now, in case of how to go for chemical liquid waste neutralization, all the chemical liquid waste are there, chemicals are there, generated from the hospitals, has to be collected into a tank. Now, this is the tank where I have collected all the waste through wash basin, or these chemicals are collected, used chemicals are collected into my tank, where depending upon the pH nature of the chemicals, I can go for neutralization. Means if any acid is there, I can treat with base. Any acid liquid waste is there, then I can go for alkaline solution in order to treat that acid bearing wastewater. Therefore, here I will have a dosing agent. It may be a alkaline nature depending upon the acidity of the liquid waste. If the dosing agent may be acid, if the liquid waste generated from hospital is alkaline nature, then we use different types. For acid, we use alkali as a neutralizing agent. In case of alkali liquid waste, we use acids for the neutralizing agents. Therefore, dosing chemicals has to be changed depending upon the pH of the liquid waste generated from the hospitals. Therefore, once it is dosed and ensure that the pH of this the liquid waste is neutralized, means acid is there, acid liquid waste is there, that is neutralized with the alkali, and if pH is maintained between 6.5 to 8.5, then that is neutralized. Once it is neutralized, having this mixing agent, proper mixing, thoroughly mixing, once it is pH is ensured, then neutralized liquid waste can be discharged for further treatment through heating. Therefore, if any liquid waste generated from hospital, depending upon the pH level of that liquid waste, either use acid or alkali solutions in order to neutralize that particular liquid waste, so that after neutralization, the liquid waste can go for further treatment through. Generally, what type of cleaning, environmental cleaning and housekeeping? Generally, in hospitals, the chemical disinfectants such as sodium hypochlorite for the purpose of cleaning of hospitals, for housekeeping, as a part of housekeeping activities, generally they use hypochlorite solution of concentration up to 10% concentration they use in order to clean all the floors and other the surfaces. Cleaning may be done using a clean cloth, clean water, or sometimes they use detergents and water for appropriate cleaning. Of course, if you use chemical disinfectants, you can achieve the microbial inactivation efficiency about 4 log 10. What do you mean by 4 log 10? I already told. Can you please tell me now?
One by
Yeah, please.
10,000.
10,000 means the efficacy will be 99.99%. What is the efficacy of log 6? 99.9999. Log 6, just remember 6 nines. Log 4 means 4 nines. You have to put a decimal at after 2 digits, 99.9. Log 4 means 99.99, 4 nines. Okay. Decimal you have to put after 2 digits. So in case log 6 means 6 nines, the decimal you have to put after 2 digits, means 99.9999. Easy, simple way. Okay. Therefore, using chemical disinfectant, we can achieve the efficacy of microbial inactivation on floors, etc. Within the hospital. If you use hypochlorite solution of 10% concentration, you can achieve 4 log 10 different. That means I can achieve the efficacy of 99.99% if I use chemical reagent disinfectant such as hypochlorite solution. Of course, inorganic chlorine solution is also used for the spot disinfection of countertops and floors. Therefore, you can also use inorganic chlorine solution for the purpose of spot disinfection of countertops and floors. Then what is the method of management of discarded linen healthcare fees as per biomedical rules? What the rule says, the biomedical waste such as discarded linen and mattresses, beddings, contaminated with the blood or body fluid has to be segregated to yellow category. Isn't it? Has to be segregated. Now, sir, you can say one question. The mattresses will be a very big one. Linens also very big. How to make them into yellow bag? Bag may be small. The beddings are very big one. How to manage? Therefore, in such a case, generally, what the rule says, any waste is going for incineration, then such waste cannot be treated by chemical disinfectant, especially sodium hypochlorite solution, because if that waste is treated by hypochlorite solution, if that waste goes for incineration, then the chemically treated waste may emit toxic emissions like carcinogenic emissions like dioxin furans when you treat such waste by incineration. Therefore, chemical disinfectant treated waste cannot be incinerated as per rules in order to avoid emissions like carcinogenic emissions because as it emits carcinogenic emissions. Therefore, such waste can be treated by autoclaving. So now you say rule says the mattresses, linen, everything has to go for incineration. Now you also say that, sir, I should not use chemical disinfectant. But then what is the method to treat this waste? Now what you can do is, if you want to pre-treat this sort of linens, mattresses, etc., you can cut them into pieces, small pieces, so that these pieces can fit into the autoclave. Such a way you have to cut, ensure that these linens, mattresses can be sterilized using autoclave. Then afterwards, this waste can go for incineration directly without any problem. Therefore, any waste which is treated by chemical disinfectant cannot go for incineration. Therefore, any waste which has to go for incineration, then that waste can be pre-treated using autoclave or microwave only. Therefore, in such a case, this waste has to be chlorinated, not chlorinated plastic bags only. And after pre-treatment by autoclave, this waste can be treated by incineration. In absence of above facilities, treated and disposed by confined shredding or mutilation or combination of confined sterilization and shredding. Suppose if no technology is available, if I don't have any chemical infectant, then in such a case, I can cut this into linen and discarded linen mattresses can be cut into or beddings into small pieces, use autoclave and discard them by insulation definitely. These are the methodologies you have to follow for the purpose of treatment of waste. Generally in order to recollect what you have learned today, the chemical liquid waste, microbiology, biotechnology, and other clinical laboratory waste from a blood sample and blood bags requires pre-treatment. Waste can be treated by chemical disinfectants, especially using sodium hypochlorite solution, or the waste can be pre-treated either by autoclave or microwave also. Now, can you please tell me what is the temperature you can maintain in case of treatment of any waste, pre-treatment of waste by autoclave? What is the temperature you have to maintain?
So 121 degree,
What is the pressure you have to maintain?
15 psi,
What is the duration, residence time you have to maintain?
1 hour.
1 hour. Therefore, if you maintain a 121, 15 psi and 1 hour, then you can achieve sterilization at what percentage?
Log 6 or so.
Log 6. Log 6 means, what do you mean by log 6?
99.9 times 6, 9 times 6 times 9.
No, 6 times 9. That means you have to say
Yeah.
99.9999. 6 9. But you have to put a decimal after 2 digits. Means 99.49 you have to add.
Okay,
99.999.
99.4.
Now, suppose what type of the waste requires pre-treatment? Can you please guess now? No, only questions, please. You have to answer my questions. If you answer all my questions, then you have understood my subject definitely. It is test for me now. Yeah, please. What type of waste requires pre-treatment as per rules, as per biomedical waste rules? Oh, see, you have to guess. Nothing wrong. If you say wrong,
Blood bags,
guess. Blood bags,
Blood
and
blood bags, vacuum
blood bag,
cleaners,
chemical waste, biotechnology, microbiology waste.
requires pre-treatment. Now, can you please tell me, if you don't mind, can you please switch on your micro or the videos, please, so that you can interact now for a few minutes. Okay, can you please tell me what type of the pre-treatment technologies are available?
the autoclave,
Autoclave, then
Microwaving,
and
hydroclaving, threading,
wow. Yes, please. Then
incineration, plasma paralysis.
no. That is, insulin cannot be used as a the pre-treatment technology. Okay.
Okay,
Autoclave,
that
sir.
is not treatment, no, sir.
microwave,
Yeah.
hydroclave,
Threading and threading.
shredding, combination of sterilization and shredding, as well as chemical disinfectant can be used as a pre-treatment technologies, isn't it? Now, how
Yes.
to ensure whether the autoclave used for as a pre-treatment, whether it has achieved desired temperature or not? What type of tests are conducted in case of autoclave?
The spore test and the tape given by manufacturer.
Strip test. It is called as, there are two types of tests conducted.
Strip test.
One is strip test, and the second one is the spore test. Now, how to the conduct this strip test? Anybody can explain, please?
So the strip is applied to the waste, and after going an adequate temperature,
Hmm.
it changes color. as per manufacturer guidelines. If it changes the color as per the manufacturer guidelines, the waste is being pre-treated.
properly, and you have achieved
It is
desired
being
temperature,
sterilized.
desired efficacy.